Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner Classics and Young Classics. This is episode number 1035 and Doubleshot number 929. Like I mentioned in my last video, this is a review of two Suicide Squad trades. First, we're going to start with the end of an era. Yep, we have Suicide Squad Volume 8, the final mission. This collects issues 59 to 66 of Suicide Squad Volume 1. Yeah, the last 8 issues of the first volume of Suicide Squad by John Ostrander. The original era comes to an end with this particular trade. Though these issues are co-written by, basically Kim Yale. We have the art here done by Jeff Isherwood. The cover art is done by Jeff Isherwood, Carl Kitzler, with Carrie Sherichan. Yeah. Now there's a few different stories in here. One, of course, they wrap up the whole plot thread involving the Atom. Yes, this is the cover for one of the trades. Yeah, they revealed that the second Atom who's popped up in this series, this is not basically Ray Palmer, based on his manner. His real name would be Adam Croy, the son of Senator Croy, who was killed by Deadshot back in issue 25. Yeah, and apparently he does speak to Deadshot about this, and here's the thing: he does not resent him for killing him. He just say he does not resent him at all. He just basically hated his father. Simple as that. Yep. And if you wonder what happens to this character, he gets killed by a bunch of CIA agents who basically were shrunk down. Why they were shrunk down? Well, it mainly deals with what happened to pages of Power of the Atom and Sword of the Atom. Yeah, it's revealed these particular CIA agents destroyed an entire alien civilization. How? By stepping on it. Yep. That's why Ray Palmer's mad at these people. Also, they killed the second Atom by stabbing him with a frickin' nail. In the 6-inch size. Yep. Oh yeah, and one of them gets a side change, turns muscles back normal. What does it do with the other two? Picks them up, basically the size of toys, and crushes them with his bare hands. Yep. Why are Ray Palmer up these people? Because not only they basically killed the woman he loved, which at the time was not Jean Loring, was some alien princess, but also killed the entire species that she was basically part of. Yeah. And of course, apparently, Aquaman has been investigating the death of Ray Palmer along with Batman. Superman gets involved mainly because, well, he's frickin' Superman. And this, I should point out, though, is a few years before the events of the death of Superman. These issues came out from the years of 1991 to 1992. Yep. I mean, that's not the only thing they have in here. They have the whole thing with the mission of Kuwait, I think it is. Yeah, they evolved now the whole thing with the Ray Palmer thing, that's basically resolved in the first handful of issues. Yep. Well, we also have a guest star appearance by, I thought it was Clothing, it's somebody else. Yep, and of course Batman's heavily involved because it's frickin' Batman. Yep, and here's Marlowe. Yeah, the dictator of Kuwait. Yeah. He basically is some minor subplot involving him and of course we also have a character a guy named Carmichael. Yes, those of you who are not familiar with this character, he's a character created by Jerry Conway for the Firestorm series, which John Ostrander made him the second thinker. Yep, he did. This guy is the second thinker, not the original thinker. He's not DeVoe. He's not him. This is the second one. DeVoe is an AI, basically, in the comics. Yeah, and basically he wants DeVoe to kill himself. Yeah. As why he's here, well, Ostrander wrote him as Firestorm, so basically put him here. Yeah, and the whole thing, we have this, and the whole thing with the Atom thing was resolved. It starts with issue 59, and it's up to issue 62, and you probably think, okay, if it's number 62 and it's like 4 issues left, what's basically the final 4 issues? The final mission of the Suicide Squad. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. Oh, in case you're wondering, who is the lineup for this particular set of issues? We have Amanda Waller, Poison Ivy, Count Vertigo, Nightshade, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and Bronze Tiger. Oh yeah, Vixen's also part of the group as well. Oh yeah, and here's the thing about all these characters. Deadshot is the oldest character publication-wise. Yeah, some people think that he made his debut back in the 70s. No, he made his debut back in the 50s. I mean, Bronze Tiger made his debut in the 70s. Poison Ivy, the 60s, along with Captain Boomerang. Waller, the 80s. Cap Vertigo, the 70s. Vixen, I believe, was the 80s. Yes. Now, the final mission is just basically free this country from a dictatorship. Yeah, that's really what the last few issues are. And plus, there's a minor subplot involving Deadshot and Count Vertigo, with Count Vertigo basically give a request to Deadshot to kill him. This is resolved by the final issue. And of course, by Waller, this mission will be the final mission of the Suicide Squad because, well, Oscar decided to end it here. Don't know why, but he did. If I ever get a chance, man, I'm going to ask him, like, why did you end your run at the 6 issues? Maybe got bored with it. Maybe we'll move on to something else. DC apparently loves Suicide Squad. They kept bringing it back after this. But this, of course, is a very good set of issues. Oh, yeah, and they do basically free this woman's country from the dictatorship. And, well, there's even a joke about Waller becoming the new president of the country, which that goes nowhere. Because Suicide Squad is basically restored as a government task force in other books after this. This book is basically, I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Really good to end the particular series. Now, it's the ending of it, the last page of the final issue. It's a good ending to the series. But I would say, if you want to think of a series that had a really good ending, and it's written by Ostrander, there are two really good series, basically, had a very fantastic ending that he wrote. Manhunt, even though he didn't write the final issue, but the final issue was really good. Along with, let's see, the Spectre series that he wrote, which is really, really good. As a matter of fact, he actually wrote that right after the series wrapped up. He wrote Spectre. That's what he did after the series wrapped up. And there's also the Martian Manhunter series, which had a really good ending. If you're wondering why that series ended, because Ostrander heard a rumor that Martian Manhunter was going to kill off in the Our Worlds at War crossover. Now, you're probably thinking, okay. Now, final thoughts on this particular era. This era is a fantastic era to read. And here's the strange thing. The first volume has actually been collected. Now, what you saw there for the first volume, that's actually the second print. That's actually the new printing of this volume, because originally this volume was published, it only collected the first 6 issues, and of course the Secret Files and Origins book. That's basically it. Last 2 issues weren't even in the trade at all, and for some reason they stopped. As far as I know, DC, I have never heard of the explanation of why they stopped. They just did. And then all of a sudden, about a few years ago, we have, probably because of their appearance on Arrow, and because of, well, the Suicide Squad film that came out a few years ago. That's probably the reason we had this, basically this printing series. And it took 8 volumes to collect 88 issues. Well, they did have one volume. I believe this was the 4th volume, which collected the entire crossover, the Jonas Directive. Yes. But if you're interested about the Suicide Squad, and if you're not really a big fan of the Adam Glass run, or anything in New 52, and you're thinking, okay, the Suicide Squad has got to be better than this. I mean, if you want something that has a similar bit of flavor to it as the Rebirth era, check out the Ostrander run. It's really good. Did Ostrander ever return to Suicide Squad after this? Oh, yes, he did. Twice. First time in 2007 with a 8-issue miniseries, which is also called Rise from the Ashes. I have read it. It's a really good miniseries. I plan on reviewing the trade for it sometime in the future. After the, actually put it like 3 times. Second time was actually part of a crossover with Secret 6 as part of the Blackest Night crossover in 2010. Really good. I actually have reviewed it. It's awesome. The last thing he ever did for Suicide Squad after this was a one-shot that came out 3 years ago. Yes, called War Crimes. The only way I can tell it's a John Ostrander one-shot is that Amanda Waller calls Captain Boomerang Boomer Butt. Yes. Something that apparently no other writer ever had Waller ever call Boomerang. Nope. And in case you wonder, like, what happened to Suicide Squad after this? Well, they became a government task force again for no explained reason. And pretty much up until the 2001-2002 ongoing series by Keith Giffen and James DeMatteis, they were relegated to spotlight appearances. Yes, They made guest appearances in various books, like Superboy popped up a couple of shits out until they got King Shark. They also popped up in the series, series Chase. Really good series. I highly recommend it if you're interested in like DEO stuff. That's really good. It's nothing to do with Supergirl, but it involves like Director Bones, which aka Roy Thomas character, and they popped up also in the final issue of Outsiders Volume 3. They popped up in various books over the years, in between, like, let's say, Volume 1 and 2. Every volume, they always popped up someplace. Yes. But it seems odd, though, that it took Osweiler 15 years to return to Suicide Squad. Yes, 15 years. Yeah, this book ended in 1992. He didn't return the book until 2007. Yep. But this run is fantastic. Love it. In case you wonder what happened to Vixen after the series ended, she got moved to Justice League Task Force after that. Oh, yes, she did. What happened to the rest of the characters? Well, Deadshot would normally appear whenever the Suicide Squad shows up, so he's constantly there. Captain Boomerang would actually occasionally appear in Flash. Yeah, he would occasionally appear in Flash, both in Mark Waid's and Jeff Johns' run. Before he died in Infinite Crisis. Well, not Infinite Crisis. He died in Identity Crisis in 2004. Yeah, 12 years after the series ended, he gets killed off in a miniseries. A miniseries that there are people who like it, people who don't like it. It's an odd little miniseries. Done by Brad Militzer and artwork by Rags Morales. Yeah, you know who Brad Militzer is? He's a conspiracy theorist. Yes, and I have watched his program. Some of the stuff he does conspiracy theories about is some of the most strangest things I have ever heard of. Like investigating secret societies. Heck, he's basically like Jesse Ventura in his conspiracy theory program. But his show was actually pretty interesting to watch, though it didn't last. I think it lasted maybe 2 seasons before it ended. Alright, move on to a different era Suicide Squad. The Rebirth era. This is Aquaman / Suicide Squad Sink Atlantis. This collects Aquaman volume, I believe, I'm trying to think what volume is this one. This is volume 8, issues 30 to 40, and Suicide Squad volume 5, issues 45 to 46. Now, of course, this book, all the issues, now, Rob Williams does the Suicide Squad issues, while Dan Abnett does the Aquaman issues. This is mostly an Aquaman story that just happens to involve the Suicide Squad. In case you're wondering, who was the Suicide Squad left at the time of this storyline come out? Which actually just this year, this actually came out before the events of Drowned Earth, by the way. The lineup is this: Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Killer Croc. I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's just these 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just these 3. Yeah, 3 Batman villains. Yep. And if you're wondering, like, how the heck the whole thing, the storyline happened, this stuff happened pages of Aquaman. When Aquaman got dethroned by a tyrant, and he basically fought a war with him until he got deposed, and instead of putting him back in the throne, no, we put Mira on the throne. Someone who's not Atlantis, she's a Zebo. Yep. And she basically is known to Queen, and she basically has sort of a stand-up with the U.S. over the whole thing with the Suicide Squad. Yeah, they show up here. Yeah, they are. The whole point of them being here is that they were ordered by a U.S. admiral, a U.S. Navy admiral, to go to Atlantis to, well, what their orders was to, as the title suggests, sink Atlantis. What was the actual plan? Blowing it up. Oh yeah, and this Navy admiral is freaking paranoid. Like, my gosh, Atlantis is a threat! Atlantis is a threat! Where's your evidence, man? No wonder why he got arrested by the end of the miniseries. Yeah, Waller didn't really give a damn about this guy. She didn't like the fact an admiral ordered her to send her Suicide Squad to deal with Atlantis. And of course, we have this awesome thing now. King Shark became a recurring character in Dan Abnett's run. Though he joined the book actually during when Cullen Bunn was writing the book. Yes, but Cullen Bunn was writing the book. And Abnett basically liked the character so much, he became a recurring character throughout this whole run. He even had an appearance. He made an appearance, first time he showed up in the run was actually when the book became monthly. Yes, Aquaman was originally coming out twice a month. And then right after issue 24, starting issue 25 up until just recently, it's still doing this right now. It's basically produced monthly for the past couple years. Yeah, the past 2 years it's been produced monthly. hmm As for why Abnett decided to do this, I have no idea. If I ever get a chance to meet the guy, I will ask him this. hmm Yep. Now, in case you're wondering, in case you asked the question, did Dan Abnett ever write this series before 2016? The answer is yes, he did. Back in the 90s for about a few issues with his former co-writer, Annie Lenning. Yeah, a guy he frequently collaborated with for years. The last book they worked on was Guardians of the Galaxy Prelude. hmm Yep. Oh yes, in case you're wondering, Killer Croc here and King Shark, two characters from the Suicide Squad. Do these two have a fight in the series? Oh yes, they do. And apparently King Shark basically is convinced because he says, "Oh yeah, the squad is here." He's like Waller. He's like because he does not like Amanda Waller at all. Yeah, that's pretty much a nod to the whole previous era of Suicide Squad before Rebirth happened. Yeah, as for why he was moved from Suicide Squad, basically I do not know what the reason is. If I get a chance to meet any writer to work on the Suicide Squad since 2011, I will ask him why was he removed from the book. Yep. Though I do love the fact that Killer Croc and King Shark do fight. They fight for one issue, but it's great. hmm This particular mini event is really good. And of course, it does set up stuff for the future for Aquaman. Suicide Squad got canceled 5 issues after this storyline happened. Yeah, this storyline managed to last for five. This series managed to last for 5 more issues before it ended. It actually ended the same month as Green Arrow. Yep, give this book a 9.5. That's a really good crossover. I mean, who knew that Aquaman could cross? Now, here's the thing. This crossover, I mean, if you look at it, this crossover makes absolutely no sense. Here's the reason why. Now, Aquaman has appeared in Suicide Squad, basically that in that previous film, but he's had very little to do with Suicide Squad. Yes, as for why this had to happen, maybe this was something that Dan Abnett came up with and just happened to involve Suicide Squad. But if you want to have Suicide Squad cross with any book, why not cross over with Batman? I mean, he's had more in common with the Suicide Squad because half his villains basically occupied a position in the Suicide Squad. Or heck, cross over with the Flash. They had like 2 Flash villains in the book. They had Captain Boomerang and even Captain Cold part of the team. Yep. Well, yeah, really good. Alright, so that's it for this particular review. I have 2 more reviews coming. One, of course, to review the newest episode of Fire Force. The other, of course, review the newest Chapter 1 Punch Man. Okay? Do you next review. Bye.